Hi everybody, snack related mishap here. Behind me here are some of my little bit of my collection, mostly cars over here that are on the chop block for customs and wheel donors and stuff for when I get around to doing more of those. Over here I've got, my Mustangs and things of that nature. I got all the Mustangs and I have most of the Spider-Man cars, but I'm still missing the Evil Twin, which, I mean, aren't we all? There's something I wanted to talk about here for a minute. It's not in my nature to do these kinds of videos, and I don't plan on making a lot of them, but my wife and I went to KDAY today, and it's just something I gotta talk about. And I feel like a lot of you might be able to relate to this. But, well, first of all, I'll explain how KDAY worked in my area. We got to Kmart at about 8:30, a little before 8:30, and waited, hung out, and all that kind of stuff. The thing started at 9. Probably, I would say, 18 people showed up, and there were about 30, 35 cases of cars there. So what they did was, in my store anyway, they didn't set any time limits on anything, or like a car limit, or anything like that. What they did do is they gave each of us a case right away. We could each pick out a case when it hit 9 o'clock, and then they raffled off the rest of them. And I think everybody who showed up still managed to get 2 cases apiece. So between my wife and I, we looked through 4 cases of cars, and we found some cool stuff. And we found a super treasure hunt and 4 treasure hunts and a whole bunch of other cool stuff that I'm pretty happy about. And it was generally, it was a good time, and we had fun rifling through those boxes and whatever. But of those 18 people who showed up, myself and my wife included, a guy showed up who I've recognized, who owns a shop, like a Hot Wheels store at a local flea market, an indoor section of a flea market, and he's there year round. And I recognized him because I'd been in his store not last week, and I dumped, I don't know, $35 on cars, stuff that I was looking for, which you'll see coming up in videos pretty soon. But so he's a reseller, and I mean, that's fine. A lot of people want to try and make money, off of their hobby, and I understand that. And he came with 4 family members, and that's fine too. I came with my wife so that I could get to look through an extra case of cars or 2. So I mean, that's all good. And we ended up going through our box of cars, and I picked out most of the stuff that I wanted and whatever, and it was a good time. But basically, the second I started packing up, the box, and I was sorting everything out nicely to put it all back in the box, and after that, once everybody picks out their cars, it's supposed to kind of be like a free-for-all, and so everybody can kind of talk and make new friends and trade cars, or talk about what they found, or see, if you found something, somebody else saw something in a case that you like, that they don't particularly want or whatever, you could pick it up. Basically, the second everybody got done looking through their boxes, this guy, this reseller, snatched up all the boxes and started sorting them all out on the floor with his family. And when I approached him about it, and I asked him about a vehicle that he had there, it was a Harley Fat Boy that he had there, and I guess there probably weren't too many of them, and that's cool. And if he just wanted that car, that's cool too. But they were sorting them all out on the floor, so I casually asked him, "Hey, are these cars all up for grabs?" And the response he gave me was, "I'm looking through them, I'm sorting them out, and when I'm done, you can have your pick. You can look through them then after I'm done," which is ridiculous to me. I mean, this is supposed to be an event where people are getting together and having a good time, and this guy, what he is worried about is his bottom dollar, and trying to buy up as many cars as possible, anything that he can make money on, and whatever. So I saw this Harley Fat Boy, and he eventually went, "Well, which one were you looking at?" And I went, "Oh, that Harley right there." And he goes, "No," immediately, just no. And He's like, I've only seen 2 of those come through my store, and it's like, great, I've seen 0 of them come through my collection, you know. And I don't know, it just, I normally wouldn't like complain about this kind of stuff, but like it just really kind of irked me, and I thought about it all day, just kind of how callous and like just he how much of a jerk he was about the whole thing, you know, when it's supposed to be like a family affair and like everybody's supposed to just have a good time and share, you know, and like try and build up your collections. But no, this guy was just basically hoarding cars all for himself, and he wouldn't let anybody else near him, like once everybody had kind of gone through, you know, their case, and that was just kind of the end of it. And like, it's not just the Hot Wheels community that this works in. It's like I collect a lot of things. Well, a few things. I collect like weird like soda bottles or soda cans and stuff. I'm a big like Jones Soda fan. Uh, I've got like some Simpsons related stuff. I got a lot of Simpsons related stuff. My family's constantly buying me board games or like anything Simpsons that they find. I collect video games. I've got like a pretty okay PlayStation 2, PS2 collection. I just bought a Sega Genesis, and I started collecting stuff for that and whatever. But you know, so like I like vintage video games and all that kinds of stuff, and I like going to flea markets and yard sales and all those kinds of things, and like looking around and seeing what I can find. But there's these guys like resellers who will look around, especially in like the video game market, vintage video games, which, you know, I grew up playing, so I'd like to kind of build up my collection of that again. I sold off all my stuff years ago, and now I'm just kind of starting to get back into it. I have a TurboGrafx 16 that I kind of collect for a little bit, although that's kind of hard to find and expensive when you do, which I understand. And like now the Sega Genesis and whatever, but like, you know, and I've heard other guys in these hobbies, in the collecting hobby, talk about this stuff before too. How these resellers go by, they go around to all these stands or like anywhere that they can where they can pick up stuff mad cheap and then turn around and sell it at an inflated price, and all for the sake of like, you know, making a quick buck or whatever. And basically they're screwing the collectors out of this stuff, and they're ruining the hobby. And like, I know Pat the NES Punk has talked about this, especially with video games, in the past, and it's just something that's really like starting to get to me. When it's, you know, I mean, the idea is to, with collecting, I mean, of course you want to build up kind of, you know, your own collection and have some stuff to show to people and be like, oh yeah, look at this stuff I have, you know, which is cool. But like, it's not kind of really supposed to be that show offy. It's more to be, you know, you want to kind of like build up the community and like join the community and like take part, you know, with other people and share these things with other people. And it's like these people who, resellers, are making it impossible to do that kind of stuff without just spending a huge boat ton of cash. And it's like these guys who are going around to, you know, they've got it in at every Walmart or like every Kmart or every store. They know somebody who works in the back room who will either go through cases of like Hot Wheels cars for them, or they'll get in there and look through them themselves and pick out like all the treasure hunts or like all the anything that's like worth looking for or whatever before anybody else gets a chance to even look through it, so that they can stick it in their store or in their shop or like on their table or whatever, and charge top dollar for this stuff. And it's just, I I'm trying to keep this PG. I'm a chef, and like anybody who is familiar with the restaurant industry knows that people who work in kitchens have gutter mouths, and I am not. I'm no exception to that rule. But it's frustrating to me that, you know, like 5-10 years ago, especially when it comes to video game stuff, you could just go to a yard sale or like a flea market and there would be a ton of stuff to look through or whatever. And now it's just all these people are buying this stuff up for like mad cheap and then trying to screw everybody else out of their money. And it's wrong. I feel like it ruins the hobby, and it's just it's ridiculous to me. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm going kind of over the top with this, or if you have any thoughts on the situation, or any of that kind of stuff. Um, so far, everybody that I've met, especially on YouTube, and like I just got into Instagram. I'm snack underscore related underscore mishap on Instagram. Just joined up, so if you want to follow me there, go ahead. That would be cool. You know, I like seeing all your pictures and what you guys have come up with and all that stuff. But like, you know, since I started getting into these communities and stuff, I haven't met anybody who's not cool, I don't think. So far, everybody's been very nice and very helpful and friendly, you know, and so I know that there's good collectors out there, and we are collectively being like screwed by these people who are like into just basically being worried about the money. And it's not about the money. It's about a hobby that you enjoy, you know, and it just becomes, when you have people like this, it just makes it just so tough to have, you know, to find the stuff that you're looking for without having to pay a huge premium price. And I don't, you know, I'm not made of money. I'm sure most of you aren't. You know, I work in a small family-owned restaurant. I'm not like a big, you know, a big corporate chef who gets paid, you know, a six-figure income by any means. Trust me on that. So like I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck, and like just trying to, you know, build up my collection as I can, and find the stuff that I like and whatever. And it just, when it's so tough, it just gets really frustrating. And this guy at KDAY just really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And really, when it comes down to it, you know, I know where his shop is, and he was completely unwilling to work with me on anything, even though, you know, he recognized me. He knew I was in his store. I had even said something to him about, hey, you're that guy from the flea market, and he was like, yeah, I am. And I was like, yeah, I was in your store the other day. And he went, you sure were. Which was just kind of like, it's just off-putting, you know. And he's not going to see any more of my business, and I mean, that's for sure. And anybody that I find out is like, if this is the way that they're going to do it, I don't mind people who go to like auctions and pick up like box lots of stuff, or just whatever, and want to like turn around and flip it, or like who are trying to make a little bit of money off of their hobby, like to make their hobby sustainable. I understand that everybody has to make a living and all that kind of stuff. But like, to just show up at an event like that and just be such like a jerk about the whole thing, it's rude, and it's stupid, and it's not appreciated. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this off because this is probably getting pretty long. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching and listening, and putting up with my rant. And you know, I'll have more videos coming. I've got a bunch recorded. I just got to edit them all together. I wanted to upload these couple of KDAY videos while they were still timely, so you'll see these ones first, and then I'll have a whole bunch of other ones come in, haul videos. And again, if anybody has any ideas for like other kinds of videos you'd like to see me doing, I mean, I don't have a lot of space right now, but if you've got, you know, if you want to see me do like individual reviews of cars, or like, I don't know, just whatever. And if you have any ideas, let me know, and let me know what you think on this whole situation. Okay? Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it, and thanks all of you for being just cool, you know, and for helping me, you know, get more into this hobby, and for your inspiration with like customs. I know that a lot of you are really awesome customizers, and I kind of aspire to be that. even though, you know, I don't have a lot of the tools or like the time at the moment, but hopefully soon I will. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.